The hospital room was completely silent, except for the piercing, steady tone of a flat line on the heart monitor. Doctors stood motionless. Nurses lowered their heads in defeat. A man named Michael had just died. For 45 minutes there was no heartbeat, no breath, no sign of life. In the hallway his wife collapsed, crying, praying for a miracle that science said was impossible. But inside that room, something beyond our world was happening. Because while his body lay still, his soul had already begun a journey to a place brighter and more peaceful than anything on earth. This is the incredible, true story of the man who died for 45 minutes and saw heaven. Michael was an ordinary man just like you or me. He worked hard every day to provide for his family. He cherished the simple things, quiet evenings at home, the sound of his children laughing, and the familiar comfort of his wife's hand in his as they prayed before bed. He wasn't a preacher or a prophet. He was just a good man trying to live right and trust in God. One ordinary morning, as the sun began to paint the sky, a sudden, sharp pain shot through Michael's chest. It grew stronger with every breath. He tried to brush it off, hoping it would pass, but it only intensified. His wife, seeing the terror in his eyes, rushed him to the hospital. Every second felt like an eternity. As they arrived, a team of doctors swarmed around him, wheeling him into a bright, sterile room. The pain was unbearable now. He managed to look at his wife one last time and whispered, "Pray for me." Then everything went dark. The medical team fought desperately to save him. They performed chest compressions again and again. They administered shocks, powerful medicines, and oxygen, but nothing worked. His heartbeat was gone. After what felt like a lifetime, the lead doctor sighed, looked at the clock, and announced, "Time of death, 2:45 a.m. A heavy stillness fell over the room. But at that exact moment, while his body lay lifeless on the table, Michael opened his eyes. Not in the hospital, but somewhere else entirely. He found himself standing on soft, glowing grass that shimmered like green crystal. The air was gentle and warm, filled with a sweet fragrance he couldn't name. A brilliant light bathed everything, but it wasn't like sunlight. It felt like love made visible. All his pain, fear, and worry had vanished. In their place was a profound and perfect peace. In the distance he saw a river that sparkled like a cascade of diamonds. The sound it made was soft and musical, like a melody woven from laughter and song. Beside it stood majestic trees, their leaves glowing with a warm, golden light. As he took it all in, he realized something astonishing. This place felt like home, a home he had always known in his heart but had never seen. Then a light, brighter than anything on earth, began to move toward him. It was incredibly brilliant, yet it didn't hurt his eyes to look at. From within the light came a voice, calm and filled with a kindness that resonated deep within his soul. "Do not be afraid," the voice said. "You are safe." Michael, his voice barely a whisper, asked, "Where am I?" The voice replied, "You are in the place prepared for those who belong to him." Tears of pure joy streamed down Michael's face. He could feel love all around him, an unconditional love so powerful that words couldn't begin to describe it. It was as if every wound, every fear, and every doubt he had ever carried was being washed away completely. He looked ahead and saw a magnificent city shining in the distance. Its walls sparkled like a mosaic of precious jewels, and its gates looked like they were carved from single giant pearls. A warm, inviting light flowed through its streets. He could hear music, not from any instrument, but from the joyful hearts of those within. He started walking toward it, and with every step he felt lighter, freer than he had ever been. He saw people dressed in radiant white robes, their faces shining with a peace and happiness that was otherworldly. Some were singing, some were smiling, and others were welcoming newcomers with open arms. It was a scene of perfect harmony and belonging. But then Michael stopped. An image of his wife and children flashed into his mind. He saw their faces, thought of their tears, their love, and their prayers for him. The bright figure beside him seemed to know his thoughts and spoke again. "Your time has not yet come. You still have work to do." As much as Michael wanted to stay in that perfect place, he understood. He knew his family needed him. The light grew stronger, wrapping around him like a warm embrace. Slowly the shining city began to fade. The soft air turned cold. The beautiful music disappeared. Then he heard a faint, distant voice calling his name. "Michael, Michael." His body on the hospital bed convulsed. Suddenly the flat line on the heart monitor began to beep again. A nurse screamed in shock. The doctor, who had already declared him gone, rushed back to the bed and shouted, "He has a pulse! He has a pulse!" Michael's eyes fluttered open. He was back. Hours later, in a weak but clear voice, he told his wife, "I saw heaven." She held his hand, her tears now tears of gratitude. The doctors were baffled. They had no medical explanation. For 45 minutes, he had been clinically dead. By all accounts, he shouldn't be alive, let alone lucid and peaceful. In the days that followed, Michael shared his story. Some people were skeptical, but many others listened with open hearts, their eyes filling with tears. He never tried to force anyone to believe him. He simply recounted what he had seen. There was no pain there, he would say, only love. It was so deep, so strong, that I wanted to stay forever. He described the Diamond River, the shining city, and the people filled with uncontainable joy. He explained that everything in that place, the trees, the air, even the light itself, was alive with God's love. As he recovered, Michael was a changed man. The old anxieties and worries were gone. He became softer, gentler, and quicker to forgive. He stopped stressing about the small things that used to consume him. "Life is a gift," he told everyone. "Every single second matters." Months later, he stood before his church congregation. The very people who had prayed for his life now saw the miracle standing before them. He spoke slowly, his eyes shining with a light that wasn't there before. "Heaven is real," he said, "but it's not some distant place we wait for. It begins here and now, when we choose love, when we forgive, and when we show kindness to one another." He paused and smiled. "I was sent back to live that love." The room was filled with emotion. People wept and hands were lifted in prayer. For them, this wasn't just a story. It was tangible proof that hope is real, that faith is answered, and that death is not the end. Michael lived for many more years, sharing his story with anyone who needed to hear a message of hope. He often said, "The greatest miracle isn't that I came back from death. The greatest miracle is that God gave me a second chance to truly live." Every morning he thanked God for the sunrise. Every night he whispered a prayer of gratitude. When he finally did pass away again, peacefully this time, surrounded by his family, his wife said his face held a gentle smile, as if he were seeing that beautiful loving light once more. His story became a timeless legacy, a powerful reminder for all of us. Love is stronger than death. Heaven is real. And sometimes we get a glimpse of it, not to make us fear what's to come, but to inspire us to live with more love, more purpose, and more gratitude today. Michael's 45 minutes in heaven changed everything. He left this world for a moment and came back carrying the peace of eternity in his heart. Thank you so much for watching and sharing this incredible journey with us. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring content. We'll see you in the next video.